What's up? Uh, I was looking on my Facebook page here a few days ago, and I noticed where back in my hometown that my volunteer fire department chief has retired. The paper, I believe the article said he was in it for 45 years. That's a long time to be a volunteer firefighter all the way up to chief. Now, I don't know who took his place. The assistant chief, I believe his name was Jimmy. I hope he took it because he's a great guy. Uh, I was a member there for a little while. I enjoyed it. And it's also stated in the paper, I believe, that all the volunteer fire departments was need volunteers. When I move back, and if I move back, I'm definitely going to join one. It's a experience that I'll never regret doing. Used to, before I joined, this is the way I felt. I imagine a lot of other people felt the same way. Is they would go out, do their job, and go back home. But that's not the case. Let me give you a little breakdown on what happens when one gets called out, maybe to help you understand a little bit more, because there's a lot goes on that people don't realize. And I hate for people to get the wrong impression of the firefighters and the volunteer firefighters as well. When you get called out, it most of the time you go straight to the scene. There will be people pulling out the fire trucks and the rescue vans with the turnout gear in it. That's the beginning step. Then getting there, setting up, getting everybody organized as quick as possible, giving them their job assignments, doing the job. Uh, they got to, there's volunteers that's got to keep people back so that they can do their jobs, uh, directing traffic, to handing out water, to handing out turnout gear, uh, to actually doing the work itself. It takes longer to prepare to go to that particular call than it does to work that call. That's not saying that they don't put out 110% or put out everything they got working that call, which we do. And there's a lot that goes on. Not only do you have to go do your job and do it properly and safely and make sure everybody gets back safely, there's concern of the public getting involved, and you have to keep them back as well. When you come off that call and get back to the fire station, what you got to do is I'm going to tell a little bit on the paperwork because it's might have changed since I've been gone. I've been gone now for about 11 years from there. If paperwork hadn't changed, this is what's on the paperwork. Uh, what time you got called out, what the address was, what time you got on scene, how long you was on scene, what time you left the scene, what time you got back at the fire department, how many volunteers you had to show up, their names, if everybody returned safely, or if it was mutual aid to another fire department, or if you had mutual aid from another department. What I mean by mutual aid is all the volunteer fire departments help each other. If there's one close by and they need help, and that particular department don't have enough out, that they'll call out another department to go help. That's the mutual aid. So there's a lot involved with being a volunteer firefighter. There's a lot that you can do without fighting fires, and I'll get into that in just a second. So I'll get into it now. It's You can direct traffic. You can if you're one of the first ones there, you can let the rest of them know what's going on that you've seen. You can help people that need help. You can stop the public from coming in on the firefighters while they're trying to do their jobs. Even if it's an EMR call, you still need that little help. So there's a lot you can do in the fire departments that don't require you to be a firefighter. There's a whole lot that can be done. Now, I took on a couple of jobs in the departments that I was with, which was I made sure the equipment was filled, the trucks were filled with fuel. I checked the air packs. I checked the face mask. Uh, I made sure that our coolers were stocked with water and Cokes, or soda for those that don't know what I mean. But back home we call everything Cokes. I made sure that was done. I made sure that the fire department was clean. If I found anything I didn't see was right, then I would turn it over to our training officer. And he was a great guy. So there's a lot of things you can do with the volunteer fire departments that don't require fighting the fires. I mean, there's a lot involved with it. Now, the two departments I was with was Temasuba, Alamuchee, and Russell volunteer fire departments. It's something I will never regret doing whatsoever. So there's a lot that you can do, and if you live in some of these areas that that need volunteers, talk with some of them and see. I mean, they can tell you on hand what it's like. If not, they can tell you somebody to talk to that can tell you. It's like I said, it's an experience I'll never forget. I enjoyed it. I worked with a great bunch of guys when I was with them. I met some that I went to school with to the same schools with. I met some that we were in the same classes together. I met some that graduated way before I did. So not only do get to see old friends and get those friendships back going, is you're doing your community a service too. Because if you live out in the counties or the townships, your paid fire departments may not be close enough to get there. That's why the volunteer fire departments exist today, is to get to those people in a hurry, as quick as you can, as safely as you can, and the fire departments downtown don't have to leave their departments to travel that many miles out to get to you. Because if it was dependent on them, then there'd be a lot more people lose their homes, probably die on the side of the roads. A lot of the personal stuff would be gone. So the volunteer fire departments play a great deal in our areas. And if you don't want to volunteer for a fire department, there's other volunteer programs you can go into. Now, I was a member of, I was fortunate enough to be a member of two different programs. One of them was the volunteer fire departments, and the other one was the Mississippi State Guard, which is a branch of the military. Don't get it wrong, even though it's a volunteer program, it's a branch of the military. And part of what they do is, if that National Guard base gets called out to active duty and have to leave, they need somebody to guard the bases. And if they don't have enough people, then they will contact the governor of the state, and he will activate that particular unit that's close by to go pull that duty. But mainly, excuse me, but mainly the Mississippi State Guard helps in natural disasters. They train in that. They train in all areas just in case that particular situation may call for that. So there's a lot of volunteer programs you can get into. If it ain't but an hour a week, I mean, that's an hour a week. That's not pulling another volunteer off for something that is needed on that you could do. They're not saying on your volunteer fire departments, they're not saying go out on every call that comes in. Because one, that's impossible to do. Because a lot of us has got jobs that we work. I was fortunate enough that I didn't miss many calls. I enjoyed every call I worked that I went out on. I enjoyed the people I was with the fire department that was members of the fire department. I met some great friends. I still talk to a few. So it's just really hard to get in touch with any of them because I live so far away now. But yeah, guys, check into y'all's volunteer fire departments. And if you don't like it, nobody's telling you to stay. I mean, that would be your choice to stay or come out. I stayed because I enjoyed it. I love going out on the calls. Sometimes it can get real hectic. I mean, a lot of calls, call after call after call after call. And a lot of times you may not get but one call. It may not take you 10 minutes on it, or the call could carry you 2 or 3 hours. So it's really hard to say because it's based on each call out that you get. And if you can't stay that long, when you get there, let the one in charge know, look, I can stay this long and then I got to go. They're not going to hold it against you because, one, they know we're volunteers and they know you may have something else to do, so they're not going to hold it against you. Just attend one of the meetings and see if you like it and talk to some of them that are members that's been there a while, that's seen a lot. And think about it, guys, and volunteer if you can, and girls. I mean, they take everybody. Volunteer if you can. And always remember, have a great day today, a better day tomorrow, and always take a chance. Thanks, guys, for watching.